that's as far as it opens. There's a reason for this, which I'll go on to in a minute, and the thing that's sort of stopping it is there's a little sort of trigger up there, a little button, and then as I go like this, it just latches it, so it keeps it sort of relatively closed. I mean, it doesn't take much to push it open, but it's just there to hold it. Much like the Dapol TARDIS, which had the little bit at the bottom to keep it in place, but this makes it easier to open and shut. And then if we want to close this TARDIS door, much like with the other one, there is a little square button here. If I just switch my night vision on. Yeah, there we go. You can see that there's a little button there, and I press that, and it shuts. And the reason why it doesn't open all the way is because of this. If we just open that, this actually opens really easily, much more than the new series prop. There is a little telephone in there, again it's very dark. And it is just a very small telephone. There we go. And you can see that it's in a proper little box, as it was in the series, although it wasn't used much. It was used in Delta and the Bannerman, the telephone thing, but it's more reminiscent, I believe, of Logopolis, which leads me to the points I'm going to make about the prop. The police box signs at the top have these sort of squares on the end here. That wasn't the case for this prop. They actually went all the way to the edge, and the wording was therefore spaced out a bit more, which I think makes it either the... Really, it means it would either be the Newbury prop, the Barry Newbury very squat prop, which then they modified to look like the fiberglass version for Logopolis, and they used it in location shots for Castrovalva and Black Orchid. And although from what I have heard from someone who's very good with all this TARDIS knowledge on Gallifrey base, they have stated that this is actually based on the prop used in Time Flight, which is the prop that they used for the McCoy era, but they did change the thing at the top. So I think really the reason is that this is the most commonly used layout on the TARDISes, and I think probably character options, Underground Toys, to keep costs down, they've decided to use that all the time. The other thing to note is the lock and handle should be the other way around. The actual toy is based... It uses elements of various TARDISes throughout the series, and then they just change little bits and pieces, such as the colours and the type of roof, to match different props. So it's just a way of keeping the costs down. The base of the TARDIS, very thick and chunky. It shouldn't be as chunky as that. Why is it that fat? It's basically just because of the mechanics of the door at the bottom. If it wasn't for that, it wouldn't need to be as chunky. I can live with it, to be honest. It doesn't sort of affect the look of the TARDIS that much. And the detailing on this is excellent. The windows, you have your traditional all clear, then frosted, and the wood grain comes across really nicely, and you have all these nice little bits here where you can see the wood grain really clear, and these little bumps and things, and that's just really sort of all the lumps and scratches from moving the prop and keep repainting it and things. So it's got a really nice texture to it, more so than the new series prop, the new series version, which although it does have a wood grain effect, it doesn't come across as strongly as this one does. And so there you have it, guys. That is the first of the classic TARDISes. I would have actually started off with the 4th Doctor one. Unfortunately, it hasn't arrived yet, so I haven't been able to. But as soon as it arrives, I shall do a review and make sure I get that up online. Although I haven't actually had the Tom Baker one in hand to look at it properly, I would say that this is easily my favourite out of the two. I think that if you were going to go for one of them, if you only wanted to go for one or you could only afford to go for one, go for this one, because you get a good variant of Sylvester McCoy. The TARDIS is a lot better, it's a nicer colour, it's better roof. The Fourth Doctor one, you're only getting the same Fourth Doctor that's been released ridiculous amounts of times, and the prop, darker blue, one stack roof, but it just looks a bit too squat, and it doesn't match the actual on-screen prop as well as this one does. So if you're going to go for any of the sets, I'd suggest going for this one, if they're still available, because these TARDISes were produced in very small numbers. Sold out very quickly. Does that mean we may see more TARDISes like this in the future? Perhaps other vehicles. Bessie, it exists as a prototype. This existed as a prototype. It was meant to come out the same year as Wave 1 of the classics. So, thank you for watching this review of the 7th Doctor and TARDIS set. Guys, the next one, like I said, will be the 4th Doctor and TARDIS set, which will be up ASAP. So, thanks for watching, and I shall see you in that next review.